Los Angeles has more airports than almost every other city in the world, with 5 in total. Most major cities usually have only 1 or 2 airports, so why does LA need 5? For example, Tokyo and Shanghai both have twice as many people as LA, but each have only 2 airports respectively. Well, the reason may surprise you. The first airport built in LA is actually the smallest one today, and that is Long Beach Airport. Prior to its construction, the first early planes would take off and land on Long Beach, using the actual 7-mile beach as a runway. In fact, the first transcontinental flight in the US was from New York to Long Beach in 1911. So with Long Beach already being used as a makeshift runway and the predicted growth in aviation, the city council purchased 150 acres of land and opened Long Beach Airport in 1923. It was opened as a municipal airport, which means it is owned by the local government, is smaller in size, and focuses on general aviation, such as private planes and charter flights. This was then followed by Ontario Airport in the same year. It was built for different reasons, being a landing site for military purposes. Its location in the Inland Empire made it a strategic site for aviation, and it was also a municipal airport. Then in 1928, the infamous LAX was built. It was initially called Minesfield because of the site it was built on. The airport was to be LA's main airport, as it was constructed on a large, underdeveloped site far from the city centre, allowing what they thought was enough room for future expansion. However, the planners could not have predicted the massive aviation boom that was to come. Then the 4th airport was added in 1930, the Hollywood Burbank Airport. This was initially called the United Airport and was the first private airport in the region. Then World War II happened. This marked a huge development in aviation. First in 1941, another new airport was built, the Orange County Airport, which was used for military pilot training. During the war, all the airports in LA were also taken over for military use, where each one was expanded considerably. After the war, many things had changed, but one of the biggest improvements was made in aviation. Planes had switched to the jet engine. This meant they were noisier, cheaper, larger, and could fly much longer distances. Due to these technology changes, the commercial aviation market was booming, and LA needed to adapt. On top of this, the population of Southern California was also increasing rapidly. Firstly, Minesfield Airport was renamed to the infamous LAX. This marked an important shift. LAX was to get back on track to the initial plan before the war of it being LA's main airport, focusing on commercial international flights. LAX began to become extremely popular as the main international airport and received further expansion in the 1950s, such as extended runways and new terminals. But there was an unforeseen problem. This is a map of Los Angeles in the 1930s. If you zoom in, you can see Los Angeles Municipal Airport, also known as LAX. Around it is the minefield space for expansion that I mentioned earlier. Now look at the city's expansion by the 1960s, and crammed in the middle there is the newly expanded LAX. The LA population had doubled from 1.2 million to 2.4 million people from 1930 to 1960. While most cities built their main airports far outside of the city to allow room to expand, LAX had been built within Los Angeles, and with the city expanding rapidly, the airport found itself surrounded by residential areas and unable to continue to expand to keep up with the growing demand. Moreover, after World War II, planes had switched away from the propeller to the jet engine, which was considerably louder, meaning there were even more issues with LAX being so close to residential areas. But with aviation continuing to boom and the expansions needed to LAX unfeasible, an alternative solution was required. So the city council proposed a unique plan. The airports previously used during the war would be taken over by the council and transitioned to commercial airports, each with their own specific functions. Orange County Airport was renamed to the John Wayne Airport in 1979. And was to be the main airport in Orange County, flying long and short domestic flights, and today is the 2nd busiest airport in Los Angeles. Ontario Airport was to be the main airport for the Inland Empire, and to be a direct alternative for LAX, as the airport offers both domestic and international flights. Today, it is the 3rd busiest airport in Los Angeles. Lastly, there is Long Beach Airport and United Airport. Long Beach Airport was already converted back to commercial use in the 1950s. United Airport was renamed to Hollywood Burbank Airport in 1967. Both airports focus on short-haul domestic flights and are known for their ease of access and small size. This has worked very well. One of the reasons is that having 5 airports is more suitable to the Los Angeles geography. LA is a sprawling city with a decentralized population. Unlike compact cities like New York or San Francisco, LA's population is spread out over a vast area, making it impractical for 1 or 2 airports to serve the entire region. Moreover, LAX is already the 8th busiest airport in the world, and the traffic around the airport is a nightmare. If this was the sole airport in Los Angeles, the traffic and congestion would be even worse. By having 5 airports, the traffic is better managed and distributed. This is not to say that this is a perfect solution. LAX is massively congested and busy, making it a stressful experience for passengers, and the council knows this. In the 1990s, an LAX master plan was proposed. The plan included building new terminals, adding runways, and expanding airport facilities to handle future growth in passenger traffic. However, due to strong resistance from communities and legal issues from environmental groups, the plan was significantly scaled back, with only existing facilities being improved. In the early 2000s, another master plan, known as Alternative D, was proposed. This plan aimed to expand the airport by reconfiguring runways, building a new terminal on the north side of the airport, and constructing a new remote passenger check-in facility. Again, due to strong pushback from residents and a long lawsuit with environmentalists, no new structures were built. Only the existing ones were upgraded. LAX does plan to build an automated people mover, APM, which is a $2 billion project that will create a 2.25-mile electric train system connecting the airport's terminals with the metro rail system, a rental car facility, and other transportation hubs. However, this is to reduce congestion around the airport. Crucially, since 1970, there has been no new construction of a runway, which would be necessary for LAX to have more flights. So who knows what the future holds for LAX? One thing that does desperately need to be fixed is the city's traffic woes. Well, this video might just have the solution.